everyone. Thank you for having me. Excited
大
to
家
be here.
好，很高兴你们今天能够让我也来够参与，很高兴认识你们每一个人。
So today I'm going to be talking about the heart-mind-body connection in partnership with the American Heart Association.
今天呢，因为从这个美国心理协会里头，我要特别把这个资讯，就是我们的心思、心脏跟身体的连结，把它讲出来。
Okay, first a little bit about me. I'm, as you heard, Dr. Catherine McDonald. I'm a family medicine physician and the medical director at Chinatown Service Center. I've been with them for 1.5 years and in practice for 6 years total.
我自己本身是家庭科医生，那么已经做了6年了。我同时之间呢，也就是他们的医疗指导师，在这个华护服务中心里头做了1年半了。
So one personal thing about me, I just recently had my first baby, so she's 2.5 months old now, and I'm just getting back into work.
所以呢，跟我们大家分享的是，我才刚刚生完孩子2个半月大，我们掌声一下好不好
Oh, thank you. Been an adventure.
对，这真的是对我来讲也是一个新的挑战。
All right, so let's get into this heart-mind-body connection.
好，我们来讲讲哈，心脏、心思、身体的连线。
And what do we mean by that? So
我们讲的是什么意思呢？
whether we're aware of it or not, we're all feeling the effects of our mind-heart-body connection every day.
我们不管说自己知道还是不知道，但是每一天我们的心思、心脏跟身体都是在连结的。
Some common examples are getting nerves, like racing heart, when you have to give a presentation like this.
好，比如说你要上台讲话了，你就心情紧张，心脏就开始跳得快速。
Or sometimes people lose sleep when they're anxious or feel butterflies in their stomach when they're excited.
所以呢，比如说他们呢很紧张，那么他们可能会失眠，或者是很兴奋，好像觉得肚子里头有一个蝴蝶在那边飘来飘去的。
Or also a feeling of happiness after a good workout that you all just had.
好，就好像我们刚刚运动完，有时候我们就感觉到很开心。
Okay. Okay. So we can see that your mind, heart, and body are deeply connected. And so I'm going to be reviewing in more detail how this connection works from the inside with the goal of helping you gain a better understanding of how our bodies respond to stress.
好，那么我现在就是让你来了解一下哈，当我们面临压力的时候，我们的身体跟我们的心脏跟我们的这个心思是怎么样子连接起来的？我们从这个内部来去参考一下。
And also the goal of giving you tools to decrease your stress.
然后呢，也可以给你一些工具，让你呢减低压力。
Okay, so first we're going to talk about the fight or flight response, also called the stress response.
那么我们首先讲的就是去打或者是去逃，这个都是我们面对压力的反应。
So we usually hear about this nervous system function in our bodies in connection to ancient humans needing it to survive, to escape from dangerous predators.
所以呢，这个就是我们根据早古的时候，我们的人就开始，因为我们要面对紧张时刻的时候的一些我们神经系统的反应。
However, there's also many modern day situations that make this stress response important for survival as well, such as coming across a snake when you're on a hike, you need to get away fast.
好，那么我们现代人一样也是有的哈，比如说你要去爬山的时候，忽然间有一个蛇跳出来。
And other common things that happen every day that trigger your fight or flight response include running late to work, getting into a car accident, arguing with a family member, or even something small like seeing a spider.
所以呢，在每天，比如说你迟到了，结果呢车祸了，或者说你跟家人吵架了，甚至于小事，比如说你看到一只蜘蛛，你都有可能那种逃或者是去打的反应。
Okay, so let's look closer at what's going on during this fight or flight response in our bodies.
所以我们来看看我们呢在身体里头到底是如何的来反应的。
So it's actually an activation of what's called our sympathetic nervous system.
所以我们在交感神经系统里头呢就会被激发了。
So your mind senses a trigger in the world, and our nervous system tells our adrenal glands to release hormones.
所以呢，当你的心思觉得说有碰上什么危险的时候，或者是压力的时候呢，就会引发你的肾上腺开始来告诉你的头脑要来做个反应了。
The hormone that's released during the stress response is called adrenaline, which I think we've all heard of.
我相信你们大家都听过，就是肾上腺呢，就是在我们碰到压力的时候就会反映出来的荷尔蒙。
So adrenaline then gets into your bloodstream and affects organs throughout your body. So it does things like speed up your heart, dilate your pupils, and decrease digestion.
好，所以当你在面对压力的时候，你这个肾上腺影响到你的身体的全部，可能你的眼孔呢就会放小，或者是说你的肠胃的食欲就会减低。
So we can see that. Sorry, let me go back. One second. So we can see that this stress response is important for our survival. So why does it have such a bad reputation?
所以这个压力呢，实际上是我们生活上面为了要生存上来的需要。可是为什么压力总是得到这么负面的反应呢？
So we all talk about the stress that we have, how it's bad for our health. And the reason is that this sympathetic nervous system is often overactive, which leads to chronic stress.
那么，所以我们这个交反神经系统就是因为在紧张的时候呢，会开始在运动，但是呢，因为如果时常在紧张的情况之下，它的运动量太高了，那么就会让我们的身体受到负荷。
So we do know that chronic stress is bad for our bodies, and it can lead to health conditions such as heart disease.
所以呢，这个太多的焦虑、太多的压力的时候，的确会让我们身体呢整个健康受损，包括心脏受损。
Okay, so we can see that chronic stress, which is activated by the mind, directly affects our biology and our health.
所以我们可以看到，当我们呢被压力影响到我们的心思的时候，直接就影响到我们的整个生理跟我们的健康。
And it's important to be aware if you're feeling chronic stress. So some symptoms of that can include feelings of anxiety, depression, insomnia, headaches, chronic pain. Sorry.
所以呢，在我们这个看到我们被这个压力所影响的时候，我们可能就会开始头痛啦，或者是开始就晚上睡觉睡不好啦，或者我们会开始有忧郁症。
Okay, so we're going to show a clip of how our stress hormones affect the cardiovascular system, just so you can see it in action.
所以我们现在可以看看我们这个压力的荷尔蒙如何影响到我们的心脏血管。
In terms of on the side of the physician, we see this every day in the office, and unfortunately up to 80% of doctors' visits are due to chronic stress conditions.
我自己做医生的，所以我时常看到这些例子那么很不幸的就是差不多80%的人的健康都是因为受到压力而被感染到他们的身体的健康。
So clearly we need to work together as a society to decrease stress levels.
所以我们整个社区来讲，我们都应该要把压力给减轻。
Okay, so what can we do about it?
所以我们能怎么办呢？
Not stress about it, ideally.
不要有压力
Okay, so now that you know what stress is and how it works inside your body, we need to look at ways to decrease the stress response, decrease the sympathetic nervous system.
所以呢，我们在这个自主神经或者是说交感神经呢，我们怎么样子的去帮助，让它不要说因为有压力的时候呢，整个就反应太激烈。
Okay, so taking into account how our nervous systems work, the key to decreasing stress is activating what's called the parasympathetic nervous system.
所以呢，我们要如何的来帮助调，就是要靠它的副自主神经系统哈，也可以叫做副反交神经系统，然后让它来帮助身体。
Okay, so the slide looks complicated, but we'll talk about it.
这个荧幕上面呢看起来很复杂，但是我们会一一的讲。
So the parasympathetic nervous system is like the counter to our sympathetic nervous system. It does the opposite.
所以呢，副自主就是跟自主的神经系统是反方向的。
So it basically relaxes us and is essential for keeping us in balance and avoiding chronic stress.
所以它就会帮助让我们能够松懈下来，不让我们被这些压力而把身体给搞坏。
So on this side, you can see how the parasympathetic nervous system affects the organs in our bodies. On the other side is the sympathetic, so the fight or flight.
所以呢，我们可以看到蓝色的这一边呢，就是讲到副自主系统跟自主系统，他们怎么样子的是反过来的回应。
Okay, and so for example, the rest system, the parasympathetic, decreases our heart rate instead of increase.
所以比如说像我们这边呢，副自主系统呢，可以看到我们的心跳会慢下来，
And it also increases digestion.
而且我们的消化会增加。
So it's also known as the rest and digest state of the body.
所以可以说是在身体在休息，而且在修复消化的时候。
Okay, so how can we harness this rest and digest system that we have inside of us? Here's a list of practices that actually we know science has shown activate our parasympathetic nervous system.
所以呢，科学上面他们实际上也研究出来，如何能够让我们有更多是属于副自主神经系统的反应，那么来做这些运动就可以帮助。
Okay, so you all just did a Zumba exercise that activated your parasympathetic nervous system, helping you get out of any stress you were feeling.
所以你刚刚在运动跳舞的时候，你跳那个 Zumba 就是帮助让你的身体呢可以轻松下来。
An important thing to talk about is breathing exercises, because these are really easy, quick tools we can all use when we're feeling too stressed.
那么有一个很好的就是呼吸运动，因为这个是在何时何刻都可以做得到的。
You know, usually as we're going about our lives, and as we get older, we all start just breathing through our chest, but it's really important to belly breathe.
但是实际上呢，我们很多时候是用我们的胸口去呼吸，最好我们是用腹部呼吸。
So to try belly breathing, it's recommended to lie down, put a hand on your stomach and on your chest, and as you breathe in and out, feel your belly rise and fall.
所以呢，你如果说要肯定你呼吸的是对的话，你躺下来哈，然后一手摆在你的这个胸口上，一手摆在你的腹部，你在吸气的时候，你的腹部是应该起来的，胀出来的。
And so doing that for even a few minutes every day will help decrease any chronic stress.
所以你就算每天只是做一下下，也可以帮助你减低压力。
I've been enjoying the humming and singing option, because when my baby's crying too much, I hum or sing to her and it works.
我自己本身我是喜欢呢哼一下唱个歌，因为我的女儿在哭的时候，这个婴儿哭，我在唱歌的时候，可以帮到哦。
There's also chanting, so we've all heard about chanting Om, right? And so that's another option to regulate your breathing. And then there's yoga and qigong. Sorry, I'll let you go.
所以呢，我们在这里，我们也可以用那个 Om 的声音来做念，或者是说用我们的瑜伽，或者是用气功。
And just a note about qigong, at Chinatown Service Center, at the Resiliency Center on Thursdays, we have Dr. Sarah Potasnik, who hosts a qigong class every Thursday.
所以在那个华附中心呢，他们的服务中心里头，每个星期四就是有位医生来，可以让我们呢来练气功。
Anyone's welcome to join that class. If you want more information, we also have a table in the back.
如果你想更多知道关于这个练气功的这个细节的话，就到我们摊位，我们会给你这些资料。
Okay, and then just a little bit more about exercise. We all know exercise is good for us, right? Every doctor has always recommended that.
那么我相信你的医生也时常跟你讲，哎呀，运动重要，运动重要啊。
But just to look at how, exercise actually impacts your mind. So exercise triggers your fight or flight system because it's increasing your heart rate.
所以运动本身呢是在增加我们的心跳，然后实际上呢就是等于在迎合当我们说要打或者是要逃的实际上那一种压力的反应。
But it also causes the release of endorphins or happy chemicals in your brain.
但是呢它同时之间呢它也在释放一种快乐的荷尔蒙，英文叫做 endorphin， 所以这个的话呢就让你的身体就舒适了。
And so these endorphins activate the rest and digest system so that they're in balance when you're exercising.
所以呢当你在运动的时候呢，它这种让你快乐的这一种荷尔蒙也一样在正面的影响你的消化系统，让你的消化变好。
So we know exercise keeps us healthy, but now you know some of the science behind it.
所以我们一直听人家讲啊要运动运动，但是我这里告诉你的是科学已经证明了的确是好。
So using these healthy habits to take control of your stress and activate your parasympathetic system every day leads to improved health, less grumpiness, and better habits overall.
所以呢当你能够把这个压力能够把它调下来，就是激发你的副自主神经的反应的时候呢，你自己就会有一个更好的健康。
And we know that people develop more bad habits when they're not feeling well, such as smoking. So when you're stressed out, you want to smoke. But if we can just decrease the stress, then you'll be healthier with your habits.
所以很多人在面临压力的时候就会做一些不健康的活动，比如说就会想去抽根烟啊。所以呢这个都是因为在面对压力的不好的活动。
And we also know it leads to better heart health.
那么你也知道那样子的话对心脏也不好。
Okay, so it's not just about being happy. It's a whole mindset shift to get these habits going.
所以不是只是说哎呀就是快乐，而是你要真的把你整个心态要调过来。
So we do recommend, being open to discussing your stress levels with your doctor or provider and hearing other suggestions for how to manage it.
所以呢你可以去你的医生那边，然后问说我怎么样子能够把我整个心态调过来。
Because we have to remember, and us as doctors have to remember that, we can't change the factors in your life, but we can change how your mind reacts.
对，我们没有办法做医生的真的影响你四周围所发生的，但是我们可以教你如何去应对你自己本身的反应。
Okay, and so speaking of building healthy habits, let's just take a moment to be mindful and think about or write down 3 things that you're grateful for right now.
所以我们在讲说你要有一些好的习惯的时候，我们现在就马上做。桌上都有笔跟纸，你写下3样让你觉得很感恩的事情。
So I can say that I'm grateful for my baby, my supportive husband, and a supportive workplace.
那么比如说像我自己，我就说我很感恩我的婴儿对我很帮助的先生，还有工作上也很体谅我。
And so on a previous slide, it listed mindfulness meditation as a way to activate parasympathetic, and gratitude is a way of practicing mindfulness.
所以呢我们这个心态好转，就是当我们在做感恩的时候，我们的心态会变好，而且就会增加这个副自主神经它的功能。
And we know that gratitude can help reduce depression, anxiety, and improve sleep.
那么当我们有一个感恩的心的时候呢，我们的忧郁跟我们自己的睡眠不好就会减低。
Okay, so in summary, we know the specific neural pathways that connect our minds and bodies, and we even know ways to control them. So understanding your body's stress level and how to restore calm can improve health and quality of life.
所以呢现在我们已经可以看到了，脑神经是整个因为我们的心思心态 影响到身体的全部分。所以我们要知道，就是说如何他们这样子连结的关系清楚了以后，来改善我们自己的健康。
So how will you start?
那你要怎么开始嘞？
That's everything. Does anyone have any questions?
请问有没有人有问题，或者是在网络上有问题的人也欢迎。
If we have time for questions.
如果时间够的话，可以欢迎大家来问问题。
All good. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for listening.
好，谢谢各位。Thank you, Dr. McDonald. Thank you so much for your precious information.